With just one more chapter left in Jujutsu Kaisen, fans are coming to terms with the fact that this hugely popular manga is finally ending. The series wraps up with one of its biggest arcs, the Shinjuku Showdown. In this arc, the main villain Sukuna finally showed everyone what he's truly capable of. Known as the King of Curses and the most powerful sorcerer in history, Sukuna's only real rival was Gojo, and fans got to see these two powerhouses clash in Shinjuku. After their intense battle, the story shifted into a raid against Sukuna, where some of the strongest sorcerers tried to take him down. While this raid had some exciting moments, it felt repetitive at times, and many fans noticed that it seemed to run out of fresh ideas. Although the raid had its thrilling parts, there were some clear issues with the way it was executed, and fans have voiced quite a few complaints about this section of the story. Before we begin, please press the like button and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads. Now, let's begin. The Sukuna raid in Jujutsu Kaisen really kicked off after the fight between Gojo and Sukuna came to an end. The Shinjuku Showdown between the two strongest sorcerers was something fans had been waiting for since the beginning of the story, and it didn't disappoint. Both Gojo and Sukuna had moments where they dominated the fight. While Sukuna used his full power, including Fushiguro's Ten Shadows technique, Gojo exceeded everyone's expectations, even though he was technically fighting both Sukuna and Fushiguro, who had been taken over by Sukuna. But things turned when Sukuna summoned the Divine General, and that's how he ultimately defeated Gojo. This victory led to the raid against Sukuna, which started with Yuji, Higuruma, and Hakari taking action. Unfortunately, the raid didn't go as smoothly as fans hoped. For instance, Hakari's battle with Urama was barely shown, with most of it happening off-screen. It felt like the author was rushing to finish the story, possibly due to his health issues, which had caused several breaks during the series. This made it seem like the arc wasn't ending the way the creator originally planned. As the raid went on, it became clear that the writing lacked fresh ideas. The same pattern kept repeating. Yuji, Choso, Higuruma, and others would take turns attacking Sukuna, landing a hit only to fall and be replaced by the next sorcerer. After Higuruma was defeated, Yuta stepped in. Then Yuta was taken down and Maki entered the fight. But instead of feeling exciting, these constant switches started to feel repetitive and uninspired. Fans quickly realized that this pattern wasn't building any real tension, and by the time new sorcerers entered the battle, it didn't even feel impactful anymore. This repetitive cycle of characters stepping in and out left fans underwhelmed. By what should have been an epic jumping, this battle lost a lot of its tension, because fans could tell that no matter what happened, Sukuna wasn't going to be seriously harmed or defeated. It became pretty clear that Yuji was the only one who would be able to take Sukuna down in the end. So anything that happened before that just felt like filler. While Sukuna's defeat was delayed for plot reasons, the same can't be said for Yuji's growth. Unlike Sukuna, who was being built up as an unbeatable force, Yuji's progression felt rushed and unnatural throughout the series, not just in the Shinjuku Showdown arc. In this arc especially, Yuji kept getting random power-ups that didn't really make sense. The 1-month time skip before the battle felt like a convenient way for the author to suddenly make Yuji much stronger, which came off as lazy and forced. Instead of seeing Yuji gradually develop his strength, it was like the story just handed him new abilities without much explanation, which felt pretty uninspired. What made it worse was how quickly Yuji kept gaining more and more power during the same day of the fight. For him to suddenly have what it takes to beat Sukuna didn't feel right, and it made Sukuna's eventual defeat feel forced. Instead of being a natural progression of the story, it came off as poorly executed, leaving fans feeling like Yuji's growth wasn't earned or believable. The Shinjuku Showdown brought a lot of mixed feelings from fans over time. While it wasn't completely bad, the constant repetition in the battles made people lose interest in what the author was trying to achieve. Plus, it became obvious to most readers that Sukuna could have been taken down much earlier. He seemed to have a lot of plot armor, with the author stretching things out just to give him a more dramatic conclusion, which, in the end, didn't really work as intended. Every time Sukuna was in a situation where he could have been defeated, he survived either by luck or because the rules of the fight conveniently changed. This left a lot of fans feeling like it wasn't believable. In the final moments of the story, Sukuna, the King of Curses, was finally defeated by Yuji. This happened after Yuji awakened his domain expansion and used it against Sukuna. While Sukuna could have fought back with his own domain expansion, Nobara suddenly woke up at just the right time and delivered a critical hit. Fushiguro also played a role by stopping Sukuna from counter-attacking, giving Yuji the chance to strike with a devastating blow, followed by a powerful Black Flash. This is how Sukuna was finally torn out of Fushiguro's body, bringing his story to a close. Despite some epic moments, the way Sukuna's defeat played out felt rushed and a bit too convenient, with last-minute surprises making the final battle less impactful than it could have been. In the end, fans were left wanting more from Sukuna. The fact that he didn't even trigger the merger felt like a missed opportunity. Throughout the battle, Sukuna had plenty of chances to finish things off, but he chose not to. This made the final outcome feel forced, like it was set up just to end the story rather than letting things unfold naturally. Sukuna may have died as a curse, but he'll still be remembered as an incredible villain. Unfortunately, the author wasn't able to give him the ending that such a character truly deserved. Now let's discuss why Sukuna's defeat felt so satisfying. Watching Yuji take down Sukuna was an epic moment, especially considering Sukuna had seemed like an unbeatable force someone only Gojo could challenge. However, Sukuna underestimated Yuji, who turned out to be the most skilled sorcerer introduced in the series. Learning advanced techniques at lightning speed, Sukuna also misjudged Yuji in other ways. He saw him as an entitled brat who didn't deserve to be a Jujutsu sorcerer. Yet Yuji was the only one who had any real connection to Sukuna given their shared history through Yuji's body. This bond was highlighted in chapter 268, where Yuji shows his kindness by offering Sukuna a chance to keep living within him, even as Sukuna's curse form began to vanish. If Sukuna accepted, he'd continue to exist but would effectively be trapped inside Yuji's body, unable to wreak havoc like he did in the Eon era. While this might allow Sukuna to escape death, it's unlikely he would take Yuji's offer. Sukuna is driven by his desire to live life on his own terms. His passionate speech to Kashimo revealed his belief that living by your own rules is essential. If he were stuck in Yuji, it would go against everything he stands for, reducing him to a prisoner who can't follow his own desires. There's no real sign that Sukuna fears death. He would rather die than live in captivity. That said, he might still find a way out. As he was fading away, he wasn't shown to fully disappear. Instead, the scene shifted to Yuji's face after he offered Sukuna the chance to live on. Although it's unlikely, there's still some uncertainty about Sukuna's fate. He could have accepted Yuji's offer. Otherwise, there doesn't seem to be another way for Sukuna to survive. Anyway, please tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads.